Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. So I'm here to do my week ahead spread, and if you can't tell, I am using my Journey of the Sacred Bee tarot. I love this tarot deck. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I always do the energy, obstacle, and advice for the week, and I kind of go over it ahead of time. Sometimes I pull while I'm on the screen here. Today I just went ahead and pulled this morning. Kind of been doing other things. Haven't really thought about it. And so now I'm back to sit here calmly and go over the cards with you guys. And then it does come with a tiny little book, so I'll go into the book interpretation after I give my interpretation as well. So for the energy of the week, I have the Nine of Cups, and it has been very rare that I find, and this is the keyword is happiness. It is very rare that I have pulled a card in my week ahead spread or any kind of spread where I'm seeking a question specifically, that I've actually had a happiness card or a joy card or something that meant joyful happiness. And I've been going through a lot of changes the last couple months. Things that I know needed to happen, bad habits that needed to be broken, and I've broken them. And I've come around, to new ways of thinking and new ways of doing a new habit, a healthier habit, a better lifestyle of habit. And, it's taken me a long time to get there. But I honestly feel it's actually bringing in this happiness that is going to take place, is that I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be more active and things like that because of these bad habits I've chosen to break. Now, that's not to say it's not a daily struggle, because it is. But I feel like that is very fitting for what I've been going through, considering that I've actually had this overwhelming sense of, well, if you just stick it out long enough to break the habit, because it can take 30 days to break a habit. And if I can stick it out for that 30 days of eating healthier and living healthier and doing things healthier, then there's going to be, and it's already started to happen, where I'm already starting to feel better. And so I find that very interesting, that it's going to be about an inner happiness versus an outer happiness. It's going to be a full body kind of experience there. So I found that very interesting. And then for the obstacle of the week, I have the Death card. And I find that ironic that we go from complete happiness, especially me talking about health, to death. However, I will say I have actually been surrounded by death the last week and a half. 2 of my husband's family members have passed for 2 separate reasons. None of it having to do with COVID. And again, it's more of about breaking habits, and they didn't break these habits that they needed to break to make them healthier and happier. And they were fighting these issues for a very long time. I just find it weird, that, in the middle of all this death and chaos, I'm actually finding my footing. So I think that would be a good obstacle, is if I'm allowing this death, this morbidity, this negativity to overwhelm me, to fall back into old habits. So I've been keeping myself distracted from other things just to not dwell on this. So I find that very, very fascinating. And then for the advice for the week, yeah, that was the energy obstacle advice. Advice for the week, I got the King of Discs, the King of Pentacles. And as soon as I flipped this over just now, I felt, I actually heard glutton for punishment, which has nothing to do to me with the King of Disc, but I actually heard that, that, you know, I can be a glutton for punishment. Everybody can. If we're wanting that last piece of chocolate or that, and this should have really been the devil card, I feel like. There's these, so many things we can get addicted to, even if it's something as simple as caffeine or chocolate or salty treats. It's still unhealthy. And I feel like he is basically saying, you know, I'm this healthier all around. He's got this third eye open up here. He looks like is this open beacon, and it's almost reaffirming what I felt over here, where the better choices I make and get rid of these bad habits, the healthier my body will be. It's almost like he's saying, you know, your body's going to be healthier. You're going to be more open to spirit, to divination, to all kinds of things. But then I also heard the glutton for punishment. So it's almost like it's a warning to always be on the lookout that you could fall back into these old patterns, or these bad habits, because it's always easier to just slip back into the old things, old ways of thinking, old habits. It takes a certain amount of strength to move past it. And I'm in the midst of that moving forward right now. Not quite out of the woods, but I'm in the middle of it. And that's one of the reasons I think this was the card. And I think these two go very well together, where it's talking, you know, you're not out of the woods yet. You are a glutton for punishment. You do know this. So just be on the lookout for anything that could make you fall or, you know, backslide, whatever. So that's what I have this week. So let's go to the book. I'm anxious to see what it says. I never really read the book until I'm actually doing one of these videos, because I find it hinders what's coming through for me. So the first card, I have the 9 of Cups. And it says happiness, Jupiter in Pisces, feeling of well-being, a wish fulfilled, satisfaction in emotional and material matters, maybe a little smug, in a good space, being entertained. And I find that quite fitting with what I was saying about the happiness. That's funny. And then we have the Death card here, and it does give you a little bit more on the major arcana cards. So at the Death card, it says, Hebrew letter Nun, zodiac sign Scorpio, the journey. Practice, loss is inevitable. Hold a space until there is acceptance that a new beginning is a possibility. Life and death are an infinite cycle. Wow. Kind of gave me chills a little. And then it says the journey. After the experience of suspended animation and a new awakening with the Hanged One, the bee finds a dead hive rotting back into the earth. Looking closer, she sees that from under the decay, new life is sprouting up from the composing organic matter. Divinatory meaning. A drastic change in consciousness will release you from old patterns of being stuck and ill at ease. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling, picking up from that. Let go and allow new growth to begin. Leave the past in the past and look towards the new dawn. Transition is a natural and necessary process in order to perpetuate new life. An ending is near. Prepare to move beyond a current situation and see the possibilities of cycling into a new beginning. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Exactly what I was getting from that card. So that's awesome. And so then we have the King of Disc. Wow. King or the King of Pentacles. King of Disc. Fire of Earth. The King of Disc is mature, stable, and dependable. He's reached goals and is a good provider. He has become more rooted, grounded, or conservative in later years. So that's kind of what I was touching on. He's wise. He's older. His looks like his third eye is beaming out. And he's just kind of there reminding me, you know, you're not completely out of the woods. You could backslide. So just be careful where you're grounding, where your footing is. So I found that very interesting. What I'm going to do right now, though, is, and I don't know why, I've had this deck forever, The Spirit of the Animals Oracle by Jody Bergsma. It's a U.S. Games deck. I'm going to pull a card from it, and it's quite a hefty deck. And just for some reason this morning, it was like telling me to pull from it. Yeah, and it's a huge, huge deck. So I'm going to pull a card from it real quick. And I actually could do it this way to go along with this reading and see what this reading says. And I'm not going to do it there because they're just too huge. So let's see what we get here. What card go along with this reading? And I started using it this morning for my day ahead, for my daily read, and it was just fantastic. And I'm like, seriously? And I've hardly used this deck, but it's so beautiful. And it was just like this morning, it was like, use me. And I'm like, okay. So we got the Lion, Higher Calling. Of course, it's the Higher Calling. It says you have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. Wow. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. And I love how that literally just totally goes in with this, it's just, that's amazing. It's talking about making noble choices. And this was making about, you know, one of these was talking about making choices, making the right choices. It also spoke of courage. You have the need to you have the courage to move beyond this, whatever this death card is, and to move past it and become something better. Just like with him finding the dead hive, there's still new life coming in underneath it. So I find that beautiful that oracle card totally goes with that reading. But yeah, that is my week ahead spread. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. I always love to hear from people. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you guys have a good night. Bye.